Hi everybody, in this video I'm going to compare J1 and H1B visas so you can decide which one is right for you. Make sure to watch until the end of this video because I have a very important information that I'll be sharing with you. A lot of teachers go to the US with the wrong expectations just because they don't know these things. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos about living and teaching in the US on a visa. Please like this video on your way in as it helps my channel a lot. You can also find me on Facebook where I share lots of resources about international teaching opportunities. I do live videos there every once in a while, so be sure to follow my page so you don't miss out on anything. So, if you're interested in working and living in the US, especially as a teacher, there are a few different visas you can apply for. Two of the most common are the J1 and H1B visas, and I talk a lot about these here on my channel and over at my Facebook page. There are also other visas like the EB2 and EB3 visas that would allow you to work and live in the US. I haven't really covered the EB visas on my channel yet because I'm not as familiar with them. I taught in the US for 5 years on a J1 visa, so that's the one I'm most familiar with, and as I grow my channel, I've learned more about the H1B visa as well. Let's start with the similarities between the J1 and H1B visas. So both visas allow you to work in the US temporarily. Both visas require you to have a job offer from a US employer. Watch this video to get hired fast. Both visas require to have a bachelor's degree or its equivalent. Both visas allow you to bring your family with you as your dependents. Both visas allow your dependents to study in the US without getting a separate visa. Both visas require the J2 dependent children to be unmarried and under 21 years old. Both visas require the completion of Form DS-160, and the visa application will cost $185. Both visas allow you to earn the same amount of salary as the locals, assuming the credentials and work experiences are equal. Check out these videos to learn more about salaries in the US. If you do not know how or where to start your US teaching application, watch this video later. Now, here are some of the key differences between the J1 and H1B visas. The J1 visa is designed for exchange visitors, which includes those who might want to do internships or on-the-job training or study and work stuff, such as what many graduate students do, while the H1B visa is designed for workers in a specialty occupation. The J1 visa is a popular visa for foreign nationals who want to come to the US to study, work, or teach. The H1B visa is a popular visa for foreign nationals who want to come to the US to work in a specialty occupation, like, in the medical field, in technology, education. Next, the J1 visa requires you to be sponsored by a designated exchange visitor program at your home country, while the H1B visa does not require the applicant to be sponsored by an organization. For instance, in the Philippines, J1 visa related work is under EVP, while H1B visa related work is under the POEA. I do not know how it works in other countries though. The J1 visa holders are tax exempt for the first 2 years of working in the US due to a tax treaty between the country and the US. The H1B visa workers do not have the same tax exemptions. Now, to learn more about J1 and J2 visa tax information, watch this video. The J1 visa has a 5-year limit, while the H1B visa has a 6-year limit. So initially, the J1 visa is for 3 years, and then if recommended by the employer and the visa sponsor also has no objection to it, your DS 2019 can be extended to 2 more years. Hence, you can work for up to 5 years on a J1 visa. Similarly, H1B visa is for 3 years, but the extension is for up to 3 more years, which makes a total of 6 years. The process of extending is obviously different. A person can apply for H1B visa while in the US, but a J1 visa requires the applicant to not be in the US during the time of application. Most J1 visa sponsors do not require English proficiency certifications such as TOEFL, but most H1B visa sponsors do. Medical exams are not required on J1 visa prior to arriving in the US, while H1B visa requires it. For a J1 visa, the drug test or TB test will be done at the school district in the US. J1 visa teachers do not need to have the teacher certification from the state, while most H1B visa sponsors require you to already have the state teaching certificate. H1B visa has more requirements than J1 visa. That is why doing your J1 visa application can easily be done on your own, meaning that you don't need the help of placement agencies, but for H1B visas, you may need them to help you with the process faster. Of course, the biggest difference is that the H1B visa is a dual intent visa, which means that you can apply for a green card when the program ends. This cannot be done on a J1 visa. Many J1 visa holders are subject to the 212E or the 2-year home residency requirement. This means that you have to go back to your home country or to the country where you obtained your visa. This is why proof of home ties is very important to get a J1 visa approval. There needs to be a proof that you will go back to your country and not overstay your visa in the US. The dependents of J1 visa holders will hold J2 visas, while the dependents of H1B visa holders will hold H4 visas. Lastly, it is important to know that as of this writing, the immigration law prohibits the dependent of the H1B visa holder to work. This means that while this law is enforced, you will be a one-income family for the duration of the program of up to 6 years. However, J2 visa holders, that's the dependents of J1 visa holders, they can work. Ultimately, the best visa for you will depend on your individual circumstances. If you are unsure which visa is right for you, you should consult with an immigration attorney or go to the internet to do your research, or you can ask people who have done it or watch all of my videos, right? This is how you can decide. I hope this will help you. If you are looking into staying in the US for good and you do not mind being a one-income household for up to 6 years, then H1B visa is for you. But if you think it would be difficult for your family to just have one person earning money and that you really do not care about going back to your home country, so you're fine if you have to go back, then a J1 visa might be a better option for you. Anyway, you just have to stay in your home country for 2 years total, and then you can go back to the US again on either another J1 visa or H1B visa. Okay, time flies really fast. 2023 is nearing its end. If you want to teach in the US by next school year, you really want to take care of your application documents and be ready with most of them by December. A lot of visa sponsors open their qualifying interviews already, but just so you know, the hiring season in US schools will start in January. Again, let me stress this for the nth time. There are many applicants all over the world. So if you want to have an advantage over them, if you want your application to be pushed forward earlier than the rest, make sure to have your documents ready, including that problematic driver's license. I already explained why this is required by most, if not all, visa sponsors. Make sure to prepare and do well on your interviews. I hope that this video is helpful to you in some ways. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.